Hi, welcome to another SMMA success interview with me, Abul Hussein, coming to you live and direct from London, the United Kingdom. Now, if you're looking to build a social media marketing agency or you're looking to start one from scratch, this is the place where you should be. Now, if you are viewing this video outside of our group, please go and find our social media mastermind group on facebook.com/groups/social/SMMA owners rather. Now today I have with me someone who I have worked with in the past, someone I have a lot of time for and I have a lot of respect for. You know, he is an up and coming star in the digital marketing world, if you like. His name is Abdullah Ashraf. He is probably one of the youngest entrepreneurs that you're going to meet, and he has a lot of fire in his belly. So Abdullah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on board here today, Abul. I'm ready to get this going with you, man.
No, absolutely. I'm so glad that you can join us. I'm thankful for your time because I know you're a busy man. You've got married, you've got other marriage talks going on within the family. We're in lockdown. So you know what? Without further ado, let's begin. Tell us a bit more about yourself. How did you get into the digital marketing place?
Got you. So gonna try to keep it brief here because the story normally ends up going on for hours, but really I started like you know, most people browsing the internet and seeing these crazy looking ads, you know, like mum sits at home making $400-500 a day, and it caught my eye. But a lot of people, you know, you're looking at it and you just think it's scam right off the bat. But I just thought, you know, to look a step further, click through these ads, and then I discovered that that's affiliate marketing, right? You know, I figured that these people are actually promoting other people's offers and, you know, selling out my commission, and that's what entered me into the world of internet marketing. Then boom, at that point I started testing all these things regarding affiliate marketing and selling offers, you know, doing blogging and, you know, all the crazy stuff that people like, you know, teach. Back in the days in ClickBank there was a product called Google Sniper, and I think you might have heard of it, George something, I forgot his name, but like Brown, that's it, man. Yeah, so you know, I really like, you know, caught into that kind of stuff. I really thought, yeah, that's the real deal right there, man. You know, how do I become like this guy? Like, how do I set up WordPress blogs that just, you know, pay me on their own? And yeah, you know, as expected, didn't go to plan, really sucked at it. Then, you know, year goes by, I step into network marketing, MLMs and stuff. That's where I started to taste a bit of success, right? I just started building up Facebook following and, you know, all of that. I started networking with people. I mean, that's all they teach inside the program, network with people and then sell them the same, you know, program. That's just how MLMs are. So it did train me well. It got me into the industry, got me communicating, engaging with people, and allowed me to build a little bit of a following. But then as all MLMs, you know, ended up shutting down, boom, lost my income, you know, everything came crashing down. And then that's when I figured, you know, I need something on my own. I need to have my own products to sell, my own services to sell, and not rely on anyone. And I figured that at that point, I also figured that, you know, we really need to exchange some value. The reason, you know, these companies all keep going down left, right, and center time and time again, because like they hold no value, right? They're not actually offering anything to the other side. They're just teaching them how to bring more customers in the same damn program. So I figured that, you know, we need a valuable approach. I need a good product, and yeah, you know, I need to actually create some impacts, and I geared myself, you know, towards that, you know, that concept of just providing value, forgetting about the income, and that's it. You know, I started practicing this business model, which is where we met in the viral news, because I figured I need an approach that's not like depending on this whole selling stuff. Like, it shouldn't have to have these downlines, and the moment my downlines leave, my income leaves. Like, needed something reliable. So then that's when I developed this blogging approach, and you know the concept, simple concept, driving traffic to articles, monetizing with publishing network, and boom, you know, that happened to work for me back then in 2015. And so then that's it, you know, that's where I built my initial, you know, kind of capital from. I started to recover from the debts I'd created for myself and all the problems, you know.
Yeah, because speaking of debt, right, I remember when we first met, you had tried a whole lot of things and you got into a lot of debt because you got your dad to invest in things and that didn't work.
That's
so,
right.
you know, so, I mean, you are a true inspiration, because, I mean, at such a young age, you've been trying, you've been investing, you've been learning, and every time something closed down, you just picked yourself back up and you got on with it. Because I know you tried Shopify as well for a while, and you're selling them as well. Now, let's fast forward all of that, because I know you've had a lot of success teaching people to become freelancers like yourself.
Yeah.
and you had a program where you had over 3,000 students join that program, and I know it was a super successful program. You generated a couple of $100,000 worth of revenue. And I mean, I like to think of you as a freelancing expert, someone who uses platforms like Upwork to go and pick up clients. And this is exactly where a lot of social media marketing agency owners and those who are freelancers who want to pick up Facebook ads clients or Google ads clients really struggle finding clients for their either freelance services or their business services. So let's talk a bit more about the freelance world where you've been at.
Yes. I want to dive straight into that for you, man. So actually freelancing, that's the kind of part I skipped, you know, that was like my stepping stone, right? Freelancing is such an amazing thing. People think freelancing's like, you know, this, it's like this little person thing. Yeah, you just freelance, you know, it's a really grafty, hard work kind of, you know, job. And, you know, you're just jumping job to job, and people think like, you know, client to client, and they made it out to be this really like, you know, limited, world that you know, you're just a freelancer. And it's not like that. As a freelancer, you're still, you know, an entrepreneur, and it's all about, it's that belief right there. So, you know, when I approached freelancing, I didn't see myself as somebody's employee. I just felt like, yeah, I'm like a one-man agency, right? And so that's where everything kicked off for me, because when I discovered that, you know, what these companies, the MLMs are doing is wrong, they're not actually providing any value, I figured I need to put myself out there and actually bring some real value, some real people, right? I need to do something real. And that's it, boom. 2015, I landed my first client through Upwork, that is, as well. But here's a cool thing, here's a little twist, and this is like a strategy I teach inside, you know, my programs, that I actually was in talks, because like I said, I made a profile for myself on Facebook, right? People started to get to know me, and through there, you know, some people could tell, yeah, this kid, he's a driven kid, surely he knows something and he's trying hard and stuff. So one guy reached out to me and he offered me an opportunity, and he said, you know, come, I've got some work, I need your help as an assistant kind of work, right? And he said, I just need your help for 1 week, and boom, you know, can you come and help me? And at the time, I was out for any opportunity. I was the kind of guy, I was selling solo ads at one point, right? And people, industry average, they were selling for like 70 cents, like, you know, 40 cents a click and above. I was there selling it for like 20 cents, 17 cents a click, because I was just this hungry kid, just like, you know, trying to jump onto any opportunity. So the moment he said that to me, I was like, cool. And that's when I learned about Upwork, because he said, yeah, I'm going to hire you through a platform called Upwork, go create an account there. And so I created my account on Upwork, and he hired me right away. So like, I didn't have to do no searching. That was my first client. And so anyone can implement that in their own lives, that you can find clients from anywhere, but then leverage the Upwork platform to actually get more clients. Because once you have one client on there, then they leave you a good review, right? They leave you a good review, don't they? And boom.
Tactic. That's a fantastic tactic that you've just shared there. So, you know, in terms of your freelancing career, tell us some of the niches you've worked in, and in your opinion, should someone be, you know, when someone's building a freelance business, should they focus on one specific niche or not? Or what have you found to work well?
Right, so, you know, with the whole niche business, because I was just on a freelance interview recently, and they asked me the same question, you know, about, oh, what's the top 5 niches that you would recommend, you know, people going into? And the answer is, there is no best niche, there is no, you know, top niche, and that's the actual honest truth. Because here's the thing, and I've got one client, right, his name is Nabil, he's from Pakistan, okay, and I always, you know, the Pakistan stories, and, you know, the third world, when I hear success stories out there, that's the ones that hit me the most. So, like, we've got a lot of people doing well in the UK, US, but when it's out of the third world, you're just like, if they can make it work, anyone can. And here's the deal, Nabil, he's selling SEO services, right? And people, most people don't even buy SEO. People believe anyways, SEO services dead, SEO's dead, no one likes SEO, you know, all sorts of beliefs right now. And he came to me, no, by the way, previous like clients, okay, he was sucking at selling SEO. And so then we built him out a profile on Upwork, and you know, within short, a year later, the guy's doing about $7,500 a month recurring just from Upwork alone, selling SEO services. Like, that's the most insane thing. So people wouldn't think that's possible.
That's a crazy amount of money for Pakistan.
Pakistan, I'm telling you, man. And the guy's been able to, so when he met me first, he was like, oh yeah, when I traveled, all of that. And since then, a year later, the guy's traveled, you know, he's been to quite some exotic countries. So cool stuff right there. Same goes for, got another Pakistani client named Mariam, right? And she went into copywriting, and you wouldn't expect people to hire copywriters from Pakistan, but still, we've been implemented the same process. You know, we've gone Upwork. It's all about the positioning, man. I'm telling you. So that's just something we'll talk about shortly, but you know, it's all about that positioning. same thing. She was able to sell copywriting services successfully, and she landed her first 7-figure client. Not to say she became a millionaire. I mean, the client is a 7-figure, business, and you can imagine that's pretty good for her.
No, that's great. That's great. So, I mean, in a nutshell, niche doesn't matter. You just need to get out there and you need to get started. And how you position yourself is very important. So, I mean, what's been one of the most successful projects that you've worked on yourself?
Right, so I can't take full credit for the first project. That was like, the first client I worked with, right? And I worked with them for about 6 months. And here's the sad thing. They were actually an MLM, right? But I actually worked like on the inside with them for about 6 months. And they launched, like in the January of maybe 2016 or 17. And, within 10 months, they generated $10 million, right? So they did 10 million in the first 10 months. And it was like a whole team project. So I'm not taking, big credits for that. But at the same time, that's the first big
teamwork.
Yeah, that's it, man. That was the first thing I was a part of. But then from there on, with my own projects, I mean, main thing I can say to keep it short is like all my product launches since I started launching products and services, they've done like, $100,000 each time. And I've done, like 5 of them now. So, it's getting there.
So people know, how old are you again?
So right now, 21, man.
21.
yeah, it's crazy.
21, and you've worked with multi-million-dollar brands, helped a brand launch to $10 million or $1 million, did you say, in 10 months?
Yeah, 10 million in 10 months, yeah.
10 million in 10 months.
That's right, yeah.
5 different product launches. You've created courses that have served over 3,000 people. I think you're doing fantastically well in this space. So no, big congrats to you. At the end of the day, this is the kind of grit that you need to make this work. A lot of people think that building an agency or a freelance business, right, it's like a get-rich-quick scheme. You go out there, you pick up a client, £2,500 retainer or $1 retainer, and then you pick up 4 clients, and then you have a 6-figure agency. Whereas, all of this graft, you have worked extremely hard to get to where you are today, and you have had failures, or if you want to call it failures, along the way.
100%.
Picked yourself up, and you just keep on pushing forward. So, on the freelancing side, in your opinion, what are the core components, I suppose, of successfully bidding for work or for clients on Upwork itself?
Right. So, the bidding thing, here's one thing that I actually do sometimes. So, when I go apply for a job, right, whatever you want to call it, seeking a client, I will instead something stupid like $10, in the hour, or let's say it's a fixed price job, I'll just insert a crazy number, and in the proposal I'll say to them that I can't price it yet, ignore the pricing. I want to talk to you. Let's just get on a quick 15 minutes call, and let's even see if I could if I can actually be of help, right? So then that way there's no price in mind yet, and I can actually get a conversation going with them, and that's when you go right in and you consult them and you see, because the thing is, here's what really matters the most, man, that you can actually help them. If you can't help that client, if you're actually not going to be of any value to them, then there's no need for any kind of tricks or any perfect sales call script or perfect niche, or if you can't be of any value in that particular niche or providing that service, then there's no point kind of putting yourself out there for that thing. But then comes that, you're confident, you can help this person. So when it comes around to the bidding, most times, literally most times, I don't even insert the pricing. I just insert something stupid, like I said, tell them to ignore it, and then I write whatever I need to write to get them on a call with me. And some people, they're going to be funny about getting on calls. No problem. They'll be like, oh yeah, I got no time for a call. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I just wanted to ask you a few questions anyways, and we can discuss it right here. And that's it.
Okay. And for people who are starting out, who might not have a case study, they might have the skills because they've built a funnel or a landing page, or they've run some ads, on a small scale, and they want to build a business out of it. How do you deal with that objection of what case studies do you have, or do you have any references?
Yeah. So that's a huge objection and problem in the industry. People are going to come around and I was in the same position when I was coming up, and I used to see all the big guys. I mean, at the time I was looking at you, because once you were launching products as well and stuff, and I used to think, well, how are these guys just coming up with products like that on a monthly basis and launching? And there's me, I can't even get one testimonial to my name. And then I figured it's actually not that hard. So the focus is creating that good service. So whether it's creating lead gen funnels, okay, whether it's designing logos, whether it's building out WordPress blogs, okay, whatever it is, just build yourself a library of those things. Okay, so like if you're, you know, selling lead gen funnel and you've got no social proof, nobody can vouch for you, then cool, just create like 50 templates and then go on social media, you know, find your market. Like, it's not hard. And you know, people think, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say, Abdullah, you've got an audience already there, but how did that get built, right? I just went on Facebook, I added people, I joined groups, I exchanged value with people, and then all I say to these people now, when I've got a product or something, I want, you know, what we're talking about here is market validation, really, right? We need somebody to validate our offer, validate our service, and all we do is say, hey there guys, you know, I'm looking for 10 beta testers to test out my new service. This is, you know, what you're going to receive, X, Y, Z, you know, the benefits that they're going to get, 3 benefits or whatever. And, you know, here's what it's going to take. I just need you to test this out, implement this for 7 days and get back to me with your results. If you're happy, leave me a video testimonial. And if not, then, you know, on your way. Nobody's, you know, lost anything. And that is how I've gone about getting all my social proof. But quick thing I need to add is a little strategy that I've done is, so let's say you've got a service providing lead gen funnels, right? And you're going to charge $1,000 in the future. You will, you know, you can charge $1,000, let's just say. So what I've done to make myself a lot of, you know, quick capital is this. I just say running a beta opportunity for 10 people. And we literally only take 10 people. You know, you got to be honest in your marketing. So take 10 people and say to them that in the future, you know, we're going to be launching this service. This is what it's going to do. This is how it's going to help you. And it's going to be $1,000, but we're running a very special opportunity right now for only 10 people where you get in for a lot less, the price is less, and you get more attention, you get more focus because we're only working with 10 people. So then that way you still make money. So I charge them 500 instead of 1,000, and boom, you make cash up front, and you also validated your offer, and you've also got the testimonials that you're looking for. No brainer.
And you make it sound so easy, you know. So why do so many people fail with freelance businesses?
Right, so alignment is everything. You know, these spiritual things and the mindset thing that people talk about, and people like, yeah, it's BS. You know, people never worry about it right till the end. Like, and time and time again, they ask successful people, 7-8 figure people, they speak, you know, they watch videos of Gary Vee, and they all say the same, you know, spiritual thing, like mindset is everything, just take action, you know, it's all about belief. And you know, these things, I figured, like, after years of watching the same, you know, crap, man, I spent, you know, I spent tens and thousands of dollars, you know, in just coaches and mentors, and lost so much, you know, what people would consider lost money. And they've all told me the same thing time and time again. It's that belief and it's that alignment, that when you align with those, you know, that service that you're providing, right? Freelancers, if you're selling logos, but you're only selling it just because you think that's the best way to make money, 100% you won't make money. But if you're selling those logos because you love designing logos and you feel like you're really good at what you do, and people tell you that you're good at what you do, that's you know, that's the make or break in freelance careers, right? It's that belief and it's that alignment, that when you know this is something that, hey, even if you weren't getting paid, you would enjoy doing, you would be practicing, you would be studying, then you know that's what it takes, you know, to get the to get up, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, totally agree with you there. I mean, all of the investments that you've made, they've propelled you forward, you know. So when you fail, you've got to fail forward, and then once you recoup that investment, you know, it was an investment in kind of, you know, learning what doesn't work and what works. So now, if you were to start from zero again, right, you're going on Upwork, you've got nothing going for you, you know, in a couple of short steps, how would you do to get a business profitable within the next 30 days?
Right, so let's say, yeah, from scratch, that's a cool one. I would pick one service. That's the first thing I would do. Pick one skill and one market, like one type of people that I want to serve. So that's like step one, you know, identify your niche, your market. And then also kind of, you could say step two is identify the product and service, right? The thing that, you know, you're actually going to be doing for them. And when starting off, I wouldn't try to be an agency in providing multiple services. I would just pick one thing. So for me personally, I would probably go for some kind of like, customer service, like, you know, a virtual like, executive assistant, your right-hand man kind of person. Or 3, like I would go into web design. Okay, these are the things that I know, like, you know, straight, you know, right into there for me. And that's just because, and I say that because those things are like something, you know, I would enjoy doing. Actually, the 3 fields I talk about, you know, I've worked with clients, all of them. You know, there's a company called Builderall. It's like a funnel builder. You know, I was managing their customer service for quite some time. And so, you know, same steps through Upwork as well. So what I would do is identify niche market, identify product service, and then create, you know, some unique positioning. So what I do is like, I offer like what I call it unique value. And what it is just like, it's like this, how do I say it? Like, you know, any information we speak of has already been spoken of in this world. There's no doubt about it. Anything somebody teaches about, you know, funnel building, somebody else has already talked about it. But it's how you position that. And that's what I call the unique value, that you can only hear that from Abdullah, like, right? And so what I'm saying to,
as some call it.
yeah, that's it. So, you know, just like you can only hear that from me. And so I create that kind of positioning. You know, that's what's really changed the game for, like, you know, what I've seen through all the clients I've worked with is when we, you know, reposition their profiles, because people write up all this blocky stuff. Yeah, I am good at WordPress, I'm good at Photoshop, PHP, you know, all of these kind of things. And they just create a list kind of profile and they say, I can help you with this. I can work 24 hours. Like, you know, they just say how many hours they, just a full on robotic buildup. But I create this unique positioning where I sound like, yeah, this guy knows something that the other people don't. Okay. I separate myself from the rest of the people within that market. And then that's it. I'm just going to go in a little frenzy trying to get conversations, right? You get a lot of credits. You know, you can land about, from what I remember, like you can do like 30 to 50 proposals manually yourself a month. Once you start gaining some traction, like people will start sending you invitations themselves. You know, like between that 27, I don't really freelance and Upwork much anymore because, you know, I've got so much private business now. You know, I've got business across social media, etc. But while I'm on the platforms, you know, 2017 to 2019, I wasn't even sending out proposals. People were sending me job invitations. So that's what changes when you have to push. So my first step forward would be to start sending out manual proposals, and a lot of them with the one goal in mind: conversations. I just want to speak to people. Right. I want to hear from my market, see what they're struggling with, what they're trying to gain from the perfect freelancer, right? What's actually going to help them. And then that's it. Step 5, you know, pitch the shit out of them, and you know, that's it, man. We'd be going in and in 5 steps.
And what you said there is quite important, because in selling, they often call it being the doctor. When freelancers are often bidding for work, they're giving the prescription without speaking to the client about their symptoms. Whereas you want to start a conversation, make a list of their symptoms, and then as a doctor would prescribe, you would prescribe a solution based on what they have described to you. So what you're saying is perfect. And as you say, none of this is revolutionary, but it's just about getting out there and doing it and applying it, you know, either perfectly or imperfectly to build that momentum. So who are some of the kind of influencers you follow in the space that kind of keep you well informed?
Right. So I think, you know, there's a whole bunch of people, but like right now, you know, they don't even come to my head because there's no one like, oh, I'm actively, you know, looking out for. I just, you know, if you ask like the people around me, I'm always on my phone. Like I'm always on social media seeing, you know, what's going on in the market, who's saying what, or what's the new strategy, even from the little guys, the medium-sized people. I know, but one of the biggest, like, you know, the guy that transformed my life, I would say, like Russell Brunson. You know, anything Russell Brunson speaks of, and you know, he does, you know, I'm on that stuff because this guy, you know, like he's always like a few steps ahead of the game. And one of his things like that, you know, when I realized that this guy knows something is when I implemented his webinar script, right? He gives out a simple webinar script, the perfect webinar script, and everyone, every marketer is using that script, you know, to sell their webinars. And the first time I implemented it and, you know, seeing the results, like, you know, my mind was blown because I've done a webinar before years ago, and, you know, I did a huge build up to it. It took me about 2 months. Yeah, I got hundreds of registration. It was going to be my first webinar selling high ticket, and it was a huge flop, not a single sale. And you know, a year or two later, 2016, I came across the Russell Brunson's webinar script. I implemented that and I prepared my first new high ticket offer, and that's it, man. You know, we've seen some crazy results. So he's one guy, and knows, doesn't matter whether you're freelancing, whatever services you're selling, Russell Brunson's a guy, you know, you need to kind of you know, be behind.
Yeah, great. I mean, I really appreciate all of the value that you're giving here. I mean, it's pure gold dust. One final question before I let you go. What would be the one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is starting their social media or Facebook ads freelancing business today?
Right. So, you know what? A few things. There's just 2 things. Like another thing I want to add right after this. But the first thing is when it comes to the whole social media and getting yourself out there, is whatever it is that you do, be consistent in it. So what I mean to say is, if you just like, if all you're into is taking a picture of yourself, just take a picture of yourself every day. Like, just do that one thing every day. Look, you know, you mentioned before that I went into that debt, right? Me and my dad, you know, we lost a lot of money to kind of my fault, but you know, we lost quite a bit of money at the time, and I'm talking like I was only 17 at the time, and we lost 18,000, you know, Great British pounds, right? So
Yeah.
it was quite you know, a hefty hit. And at that point, you know, the way my money management was, I hadn't created no security for myself. I didn't have no, you know, cash behind me. Once I lost that money, like, I was clean. So then I had to get myself out of that. And how did I do it? I went on Facebook, social media, right? And for like 3 months straight, every single day, one Facebook Live. I just picked up my phone, and every single day, I even got out of bed. I'm going to, them days I was going to college, and I'd be going to college, like I'm coming home from college, whatever it is, I would pick that phone up every day and just do one Facebook Live and talk whatever, you know, came to my mind. Sometimes the most BS, like, you know, lives, but it was just that I was active there in front of, you know, the people I was making friends with every single day. They see my face, and boom, that's it. Conversations begun, and honestly, within that 3 months, you know, I took myself out of that little hole I'd created for myself. At one point, like, there was one day prior to all of that, and I'm sat there thinking to myself, man, this could be it. Like, maybe this is my like journey just coming to an end. Like, I've seen so much success, but it always slips me by. And I was like, man, this is it. But then, you know, a little realization came to me. I went to an event. You obviously know Adil Chowdhury, and I was at his event at the time. And I'll be honest with you, there was not so much, you know, gold dust that I gained from there. They were talking a lot of basic things, but there was one thing that was worth the entire investment for me. At the time, they told me, just get on Facebook Lives. They said, you know, start publishing videos, and you start utilizing the live feature. And that's all I'd done. And I done that for 3 months straight, took myself out of that position. So my first advice is, be consistent, and whatever it is you do, just do it regularly, and do it with your heart, man. You know, if the heart's not there, like I said, when you're not aligned with it, you don't even feel comfortable writing it, and you won't even get the kind of engagement you're looking for. Like, you know, yesterday I posted something, I just wrote impact over income always, something so simple. Now, if I didn't believe in that, I know, like, I can't explain to you, this weird universal shit, man. And I'm no Zen kind of guy, I don't meditate, all of that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, it's just like the way it is. Because there was one point I stopped believing. I didn't feel comfortable doing this stuff, and the posts, you know, they didn't get the engagement, they didn't get me the conversation. Well, when I believed in it, I aligned myself with it, right, my own beliefs and vision, and I done that stuff regularly. Life changed. And that's it, man. You know, they just need to be on it, man.
No, perfect. No, thank you very much for your time. Honestly, I really appreciate it. That's Abdullah Ashraf. Look him up on Facebook. He's only 21 years old. He's done hundreds of thousands of dollars through product launches, through freelancing business, and as I said earlier, he has over 3,000 students who he has helped make an income by becoming a freelancer. So Abdullah, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me here today. I'll catch you soon.